Hey guys, what's up? It's FadeAway90 here, and today we're going to learn how to pull data in from a database. So let's begin. First, we need to using a HTML editor. First, what you'll need to do, and this is already done automatically for me because of what the software I'm using, is create a basic HTML page layout. So a head tag, body tag, etc. You don't need to do this, but it's better to if you're going to build this into a page. So we're going to go into the body tag here, and we're going to enter PHP mode by opening an angle bracket, putting a question mark, and then typing PHP. Then we're going to drop a few lines, and we're going to close the PHP mode by putting a question mark and closing the angle bracket. Okay, and in here we're going to write all of our code that's going to pull it in. So we're going to start by saying we need to connect to a database server, so we're going to say MySQL underscore connect, open and close brackets quickly. So we need 3 bits of data from here, or 3 bits of information. We need the server address, then a comma, then the username of the database that can access the database, then another comma, and then the password for that username. So we're going to create I'm on a local server, so my server address is 127.0.0.1. I'm going to use the root user, so I'm just going to type root, and there is no password for that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take this out real quick, and I'm going to show you this. So I'm going to bring this open in the browser, and nothing is happening. Okay, now as far as you know, that could be connecting, that couldn't. So what I'm going to do is leave that for now, and I'm going to select a table. Now I'm going to leave that for now because I want to show you an error that's going to happen and show you what happens if it doesn't. Actually, I'll put this back in and I'll just select a wrong table. So I'm going to do MySQL underscore select underscore DB, which is selecting a database, and then this has to be database name in here. Now we'll leave that as that, even though it's incorrect. And I'm now going to say so now what I need to do is create a MySQL query. So I'm going to do this like this. I'm going to create a new variable, and I'm going to call it Q1, and that's going to equal some text. And then I'm going to create another variable and call it query. And what that's going to equal is MySQL underscore query, open and close brackets, and inside those brackets we say Q1. So what I've done is I've set up to create a query, and then I've run a query. Now what we want to do, and I'll write this bit properly, is select all by using the star, or I could select a single field from, and we're going to just select it from video because the database I'm actually going to connect to is going to have a video page. Now what I should be able to do now that I've run the query, and I can't because I'm not echoing anything out, so we'll do the next bit and I'll be able to echo it out then. So while we create a new variable here to populate as an array, row is equal to MySQL underscore fetch underscore array, and I've missed the L out, so MySQL underscore fetch array, and that is going to equal query. Okay, now we open and close curly brackets to tell it where it needs to be, and what we're going to say is echo row, and then we're going to enter a field name, and that is name, and then we're going to just add a bit of text after this, and what that's going to say is it's just a bit of basic HTML. We're going to give it a line break. Okay, so we'll F12 this, and what we're going to say is MySQL fetch array expects parameter 1 because resource boolean given. Line 16. Now, this is the error I wanted to show you, and there is a reason for it. So, line 16 is here, and it's because it cannot pull this in. So if we track this back, this command is cracked, so it can't pull this in. Now the reason that is, okay, is we haven't put error messages in that would tell us what's wrong. So we'd put or die MySQL underscore error. Now this isn't the problem, but if we copy this section, in fact if I just show you, same thing again, but if we put it in down here, what this is now going to tell me is unknown database database name. So I know what the problem is. Now obviously you would put these in at the start, but I thought it would be useful to show you what happens if you don't. So we're going to give it a database name, and it didn't have a cap, so I'm sure it didn't. It doesn't matter, this isn't case sensitive, but it's always better to. So this is the database I actually use for my site. So we'll just quickly recap what the code is doing. We are connecting to a database server by using a MySQL connect statement with a server address, a username and a password. We are then selecting a database from that server. We are then creating our MySQL query as a string of text in a variable. We are then in another variable running the MySQL query that we've just created. We're then saying whilst row, which is our array variable that we create here, is equal to MySQL fetch array query here, echo out row name, and this here is a field name, so the field in the database that's called name, and then a line break. So let's have a look at this in action. I'll just check my spellings real quick. That seems okay. So we'll hit F12, and what we've got now is a list of everything that's in that field of my database. So what we can do now, just to show you how this would really work, realistically it's all well and good pulling in data, but what can you do with it? So if I wanted to say number them, what I could do is say create some more text, create an unordered list, and then here instead of a line break we're going to end the unordered list, and I really can't bother to work out where that hasn't pulled numbers in, but oh wait, no, you have to format it differently. It's just a standard list, isn't it? So li, where's it? I do not remember the HTML for this. but you could pull this in if you'd like, if you really want a numbered list, but we're just because it's the only one I remember, we're going to use a normal list. And what that's now showing is a bulleted list with all the names in. So what else can we do? Well, if you want to order it, so we're going to order it from the newest record to the oldest record. So we're going to say order by ID, which is the name of the field, and we're going to put ID like that. And we're going to say by descending. Okay, now if that's worked and I haven't messed up. Okay, I've obviously messed up somewhere. And what I think I've done is I've used the wrong thing, so I'm going to put it as ascending. Okay, that's being annoying. Let's try getting rid of these. Okay, yep. There we go. Okay, you didn't need the speech marks around it. So what we've now said is the ID with the highest number goes at the top, and then the ID with the lowest number goes at the bottom, which is oldest to newest. So just quickly, where would this come in handy? Well, I'll show you this in action. So I open a new tab, and this is my live site, which I've been hesitant to plug, and the table we've just pulled in from is the videos table. So what we've got here is all of this data is coming in from that table. You can see Halo for Map Explorer, and if you want to see the more, because the table that I've got locally is out of date, so we've got Minecraft Bowling here, and then if we go back into here, we've got Minecraft Bowling, and this is exactly the same code I've used, apart from a few differences for pagination purposes, so it limits. But that's it. That's pulling in data from a database and echoing out into a web browser. So if you'd like to see any more tutorials, PHP, HTML, stuff like that, leave it in the comments section and I will do it as soon as I get a chance.